Sometimes the hardest truth to accept is this: not everyone who enters your life is meant to stay. And some people, even the charming ones, the funny ones, the "I swear they're good inside" ones, can drain your energy without even realizing it. Your body usually knows before your brain does. The heaviness in your chest, the tension in your shoulders, the way your nervous system flinches when their name pops up on your phone. So let's talk about how to detach from people who drain you. Not with drama, not with rage, but with psychology, clarity, and a whole lot of self-respect. 1. Your body doesn't lie. Before your mind creates 1,000 excuses for someone, your body already knows the truth. According to polyvagal theory, your nervous system constantly scans for safety or threat. This process is called neuroception. When someone drains you, your body picks up on the emotional imbalance long before your logic catches up. Feeling tired, tense, or anxious around someone is not being dramatic. It's biology. Detachment begins with listening to those signals instead of silencing them. 2. Guilt keeps you stuck. Here's a fun psychological plot twist. The biggest reason we stay attached to draining people isn't love, it's guilt. Women especially are conditioned to be nurturing, patient, forgiving, endlessly available. Basically, emotional nurses on duty 24/7. But emotional labor is not your job description in every relationship. When you constantly feel guilty for pulling back, ask yourself, am I protecting them or avoiding disappointing them? Because guilt is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's often a sign you're finally doing something right. 3. Detachment isn't cutting people off. Most people think detachment means disappearing, blocking, deleting, the whole dramatic movie exit. But psychologically, detachment means creating emotional space, not emotional war. It means reducing how much power someone has over your moods, your thoughts, and your sense of self. It's not punishment, it's self-preservation. Think of it like adjusting the volume. You're not muting them, you're simply turning them down for. Patterns don't lie. Either people who drain you usually don't do it once. They do it consistently. They only call when they need something. They never apologize. They make you feel guilty for having boundaries. They invalidate your feelings or twist your words. They leave you questioning yourself instead of questioning their behavior. These aren't coincidences. These are patterns, and your emotional burnout is the evidence. 5. The psychology of false hope. One of the sneakiest traps is believing that any day now, this person will finally change. Maybe they'll wake up more self-aware. Maybe they'll magically develop empathy. Maybe the stars will align and they'll realize your worth. But psychology has a name for this: intermittent reinforcement. Inconsistent affection that keeps you hooked, the same principle behind gambling addiction. It creates emotional highs and lows that feel like chemistry, but it's actually instability. Detachment begins when you stop chasing potential and start accepting reality. 6. Boundaries will reveal everything. In theory, everyone supports boundaries. In practice, the people who drain you will resist them the most. Why? Because the old dynamic benefited them. You might see guilt tripping, passive aggressiveness, or emotional manipulation. This reaction is called homeostasis, the human tendency to resist change, even unhealthy change. Your job isn't to convince them your boundary is reasonable. Your job is to hold it anyway. 7. Emotional regulation equals your superpower. Pulling away from draining people will feel uncomfortable at first. That's normal. You've spent a long time prioritizing someone else's emotions over your own. Your nervous system has to learn a new pattern. The discomfort is not a sign you're doing something wrong. It's a sign you're breaking a psychological habit. Discomfort is not danger. Discomfort is growth. 8. Cognitive distancing saves your peace. One of the most powerful tools in psychology is called cognitive distancing, learning to observe behavior without absorbing it. Instead of, I'm a terrible person for upsetting them, try, they're upset because I set a boundary. See the difference? One drains you, one frees you. Cognitive distancing reduces emotional reactivity and helps you detach with clarity, not chaos. 9. Space creates truth. The moment you step back, something incredible happens. Clarity returns. You start remembering who you are without this person's influence. Your self-esteem rises, your mind gets quieter, your energy stops leaking, and suddenly you realize, wow, I was exhausted and calling it normal. That's the power of detachment. 10. Choosing yourself is never wrong. Detachment is not rejection. Detachment is returning to yourself. You're not abandoning anyone. You're ending emotional debt. You're choosing your peace, your mental health, and your future. You can love someone and still detach. You can care and still step back. You can wish them well from far away. That's emotional maturity. That's self-respect. That's healing. So here's your reminder. You're not losing anyone. You're finding yourself. Your peace is sacred. Your energy is limited. Protect it like your life depends on it, because in a way, it does.